What's up, guys? Jordan here from Show Me Vegas, coming to you with another episode of This Week in Vegas, the weekly vlog where we tell you what's happening in Las Vegas. Hey, before we get into that, take 1 second and subscribe to the channel. Also hit that notification bell so you don't miss these or any other content we put out on our channel. We're going to be in Vegas this coming weekend, so we're going to be live and we're going to be posting some videos. There's going to be some content on our Facebook page, so be sure and check that out as well. But for now, let's get into This Week in Vegas. Recently announced, there are a couple new hotel and casinos in the works in Las Vegas. The first one is the Dream Hotel. Now, this one's slated to be on the extreme south end of the Strip. It's in a pretty strange location. It's right off the runways at McCarran Airport. It's going to be in between the Pinball Hall of Fame and the Harley Davidson dealership down there just south of Mandalay Bay, but on the other side of the street. A strange location. There was a little bit of concern about it, but it has received approval. It's going to be 20 stories, 597 rooms. They expect to break ground in mid-2022 and take about 2 years to construct it. The owners are a couple of local real estate developers who expect to attract people who are coming to town for business or vacation but don't want to stay in one of the sprawling mega resorts, want something smaller. I don't think the location is very good, especially for that, but we'll see how it goes. Probably going to hit the market around 2024. The other new casino that's been in the news lately has been a Station Casino on Durango Drive in southwest Las Vegas. A lot of people are interested in this because Station Casinos has not even opened all of their properties since COVID. They still have a few that are shuttered. Now, Station Casinos typically goes after the locals market, and that's what this hotel is going to be. This is out in a residential area in extreme southwest Las Vegas. They obviously feel pretty strongly about the market if they're willing to build a new resort while they still have old resorts that they have never reopened. At this point, it looks like they probably never will. Also in Las Vegas this week was the G2E, that's the Global Gaming Expo. That was held in person at the Venetian Expo Center. It's nice to see conferences and conventions coming back to Las Vegas. Vegas needs conferences and conventions to stay full during the week. On display at these expos is generally what is the future of gaming. Here we've got some pictures of some of the exhibits, some really neat interactive games. Companies also like to introduce new table games at these expos. Some really cool stuff. You see here this arena-style gaming machine. Those are pretty neat. I didn't like them at first until I played the one at Resorts World. There's a really cool one at Resorts World. If you haven't been down there, you should get down and check that out. But once again, nice to see conferences coming back to town. Also in the news this week, developers have announced they're topping out the concrete structure around the MSG Sphere. That's the concrete roof. If you're not familiar with the MSG Sphere, it's that ridiculous looking sphere right behind the Venetian and Palazzo. The project is a partnership between Madison Square Garden and the Las Vegas Sands Corporation, who used to own the Venetian and Palazzo and donated the land for this project. Really all it is a big concert hall. It's going to seat 17,500 people in an auditorium style with an interactive LED screen that wraps kind of around the seats on the inside. And the exterior is going to be covered entirely in an LED screen, which is going to be a really cool addition to the Las Vegas skyline if it ever opens. This thing broke ground in 2018 and they still haven't even completed the roof. After that, they've still got another year or two worth of work to do on this thing to finish it out. When it's all said and done, it will have cost more than $1.865 billion. It's probably going to get to $2 billion before it's all said and done. I don't know that a performance venue centered around concerts and shows is going to be able to pay off a $2 billion price tag, but they've sunk a lot of money into it to this point, and I guess they've got to finish it now. Other new construction coming to the Las Vegas Strip is the Atomic Range. Now, this is a Topgolf style golf attraction. It's going to be right next door to the Stratosphere. As you probably know, there's already a Topgolf in Las Vegas. It's the biggest and most extravagant in the world. It's right behind the MGM Grand. And you might wonder, does Las Vegas really need two of these things? And I thought about that, but then I realized Vegas has more than 2 million residents, and I doubt the locals are interested in going down to Topgolf and dealing with that crowd and that scene. So I think this one's going to be a little bit more catered toward the locals. It's also on the north end of the Strip where Resorts World recently opened, and Fontainebleau or JW Marriott, whatever they call that whenever it finally does open. But the north end of the Strip is coming back, and probably not a bad place to be for tourists and locals alike. So Finally, if you're going to be in Las Vegas this week, the weather has cooled. Fall has arrived in Las Vegas. I mentioned we're going to be in Vegas this weekend, and the weather looks absolutely beautiful. We've got a fun trip lined up. We're going to be staying at Mandalay Bay in a 2-bedroom panoramic suite, so we'll do a room tour of that. We'll also be live a couple of times. So like I said, subscribe to the channel and also hit that notification bell so you get notified when we're live in Vegas or when we post any future content. Check us out on Facebook as well. We make a lot of posts on our Facebook page whenever we're in Vegas. So be sure and check that out. But anyway, that does it for this week in Vegas. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.